Ever wonder why 1950s meals look like works of art? Perfect pies, golden casseroles, and Sunday roasts that somehow tasted like home itself? Back then, the secret wasn't in fancy ingredients, it was in the tricks. Little rituals whispered from one housewife to another, passed through stained recipe cards and handwritten notes tucked inside cookbooks. These weren't just recipes, they were survival guides for women who made magic out of rationed shelves and tiny kitchens. Picture it, 1955. The radio hums in the background while a young housewife hums along, wearing a floral apron dusted with flour. Her stove crackles as she checks the roast, flips open a notebook, and adds a pinch of sugar to her tomato sauce, not for sweetness, but to cut the acid just right. She knows dozens of these forgotten hacks: how to stretch butter, revive stale bread, or make canned food taste homemade. Every dish she served carried both love and strategy. Today, those secrets have almost vanished. We scroll for recipes, but they cooked from memory. They didn't waste a crumb, and somehow their food always had that warmth ours often lacks. These women turned simplicity into art, proving that skill and heart could make any kitchen a place of abundance. Because behind every perfect meal was a woman who knew her way around flavor, thrift, and timing, like a quiet orchestra conductor. Her kitchen, her stage. So stick around, because in the next few minutes, we're uncovering the cooking tricks that time forgot. Tricks so clever, you'll wonder how we ever stopped using them. Hit subscribe, drop a comment, and tell me, what's one kitchen secret you learned from your mother or grandmother? You might just hear it in the next story. It's a quiet afternoon in 1956. The kitchen smells like baked bread and sunshine. A 1950s housewife stands by the counter, her apron tied neatly, her hair pinned in soft curls. She hums a tune as she opens her old Frigidaire, pulling out last night's dinner: half a roast, some peas, and cold mashed potatoes. To most of us today, that would look like leftovers. But to her, it's tomorrow's masterpiece waiting to happen. Back then, nothing went to waste. Food was more than just food. It was care, creativity, and pride. Housewives had a secret for turning scraps into something special. They called it second-day magic. It wasn't written in any cookbook. It was learned by watching mothers and grandmothers work miracles with whatever they had. They didn't see leftovers as boring. They saw them as a puzzle to solve. Every piece had potential, and that mindset turned ordinary meals into quiet triumphs. Picture this. She takes that cold roast and chops it fine, mixing it with onions, gravy, and a dash of Worcestershire sauce. The mixture goes into a pie crust made from flour she sifted by hand. As it bakes, the smell fills the kitchen, rich, warm, comforting. By dinner, her family sits around the table eating what they think is a brand new dish, not yesterday's dinner reborn. She smiles quietly, knowing her secret. This wasn't about being frugal. It was about respect. Respect for the food, for the effort it took to make it, and for the simple truth that creativity could turn little into plenty. In those days, there were no food delivery apps or microwaves. Every meal took time, and every trick saved a few precious minutes or a few hard-earned dollars. Sometimes she'd mash leftover vegetables into soups or fold them into a creamy casserole with breadcrumbs on top. If bread went stale, she didn't toss it. She turned it into pudding, soft and sweet, topped with a drizzle of syrup. Even coffee grounds weren't wasted. Some women used them to deepen the flavor of chocolate cake. It was genius born out of necessity. What's amazing is how those tricks made kitchens feel alive. Each day had a rhythm: the morning's prep, the afternoon's cooking, the evening's serving, and every smell told a story. Housewives didn't chase perfection. They chased peace, routine, and the satisfaction of feeding their families well. Fast forward to today, and that kind of magic feels rare. We waste so easily. Food, time, even attention. But there's something powerful about the way those women worked. They knew that small acts, like saving a spoon of gravy or a slice of bread, could stretch into something meaningful. It wasn't about being old-fashioned. It was about being present. If you walked into that 1950s kitchen right now, you'd hear the soft tap of a spoon against a bowl, the low hum of the radio, and maybe the laughter of children outside the window. The house smells of life, roast, butter, a hint of cinnamon. On the stove, something bubbles, something she's making up as she goes. She doesn't follow a recipe. She follows her instincts. And somehow, it always turns out right. That was her real secret, the quiet confidence that came from making something out of almost nothing. It wasn't luck. It was skill, love, and a little imagination, the kind we've almost forgotten today. The ice water dough secret. It's a bright morning in 1955. The kitchen window is open, letting in a soft summer breeze. A 1950s housewife stands at her counter, sleeves rolled up, hands deep in flour. The radio hums in the background, and sunlight glows across her mixing bowl. She's making pie crust, the kind that flakes perfectly, light as air, golden as sunshine. If you've ever wondered how their pies always looked straight out of a magazine, here's the secret. Ice-cold water. It sounds simple, but back then, this was one of the most guarded tricks in the kitchen. Housewives swore by it because it worked every single time. They knew that warm water ruined everything. It melted the butter too soon, made the dough tough instead of tender. So they filled a small bowl with ice cubes, poured in cold water, and measured it carefully, 1 spoon at a time. The colder the dough, the lighter the crust. It was science they never studied, but somehow they understood. To them, baking wasn't guessing. It was quiet precision, learned through patience and love. She moved slowly, cutting butter into flour with a fork, never rushing. Each motion feels calm, almost graceful. The dough comes together soft and smooth beneath her hands. She wraps it in wax paper, sets it in the icebox to chill, and smiles. It's not just pastry, it's pride. When the pie comes out of the oven, the crust shimmers with a golden glow, the scent of apples and cinnamon filling the room. Her children peek over the counter, waiting for that first slice. Her husband, reading the evening paper, lifts his head just to say, "Smells wonderful, dear." And in that small moment, she feels a quiet kind of joy, the kind that comes from knowing she's mastered something real. The secret of the ice water dough wasn't written in cookbooks. It was whispered between neighbors, shared at church picnics, or passed from mother to daughter on slow Sunday afternoons. And though it seems simple, it carried something deeper, a lesson about care. See, in 1950s kitchens, every step mattered. There was no rushing, no cutting corners. Mixing, chilling, baking, all had their rhythm. Housewives learned that good food took time, and that patience was an ingredient as real as butter or flour. Sometimes she'd make extra dough to freeze for the week ahead. Sometimes she'd use it to seal pot pies filled with leftover roast and vegetables. Each time she felt a small victory, stretching her resources while keeping her home filled with the smell of comfort. What's beautiful about this old trick is how timeless it is. Even today, the secret still works. Keep everything cold. Butter, water, hands, bowl. Cold equals flaky. It's the kind of wisdom that modern baking shortcuts can't replace. Imagine standing beside her, the clink of ice against a glass bowl, the soft rustle of flour, the hum of a radio playing Que sera, sera. There's no rush, no noise from phones or screens, just rhythm and focus. You can almost feel the peace in her movements. That's what made those kitchens so special. The tricks weren't just about cooking. They were about living with intention. Every small step, every slow stir, every chilled drop of water had purpose. Because in the heart of every 1950s housewife was a simple truth. Great meals aren't made in a hurry. They're made with heart, patience, and a touch of ice-cold water. If you opened a 1950s Icebox, you wouldn't find endless options or shiny packages. You'd see a few glass jars, some leftovers wrapped neatly in wax paper, and maybe a bowl of something cooling on the bottom shelf. Yet somehow from that tiny space, housewives could feed an entire family and make it taste like home. They didn't need dozens of condiments or store-bought sauces. They had a secret, the art of the icebox trick. It wasn't about storing food, it was about transforming it. The icebox wasn't just a fridge, it was a treasure chest of flavor, patience, and quiet wisdom. Most people today wouldn't believe how creative they were. Housewives used every inch of that cold space like a painter uses a canvas. Leftover gravy? It became the base for tomorrow's soup. Stale bread? It turned into soft bread pudding or crunchy stuffing. Even the small bit of mashed potatoes from last night found new life in morning pancakes. Nothing ever truly expired. It was simply reborn. The trick lay in timing. Women knew exactly how long each dish could rest before reaching perfection. Cold fried chicken was not a disappointment. It was a planned delight, seasoned better after a night's sleep. Gelatin salads set slowly overnight, turning fruits and nuts into colorful mosaics that looked like art when brought to the table. And oh, the smell when that icebox door opened. Chilled butter, hint of vanilla, a trace of last night's roast. It was the smell of a family's rhythm. Here's the hook. They didn't rely on expiration dates or apps. They trusted their senses. A gentle sniff, a touch, a taste. Their wisdom came not from labels, but from love and experience. There was another clever trick, the ice cube secret. Housewives would freeze bits of leftover broth, lemon juice, or coffee into cubes. Later, those little frozen squares became instant flavor boosts for soups, gravies, or desserts. It was an early version of meal prep, long before the word even existed. They'd also wrap blocks of butter in foil and store them beside the ice to keep them firm in summer heat. And on especially hot days, some even chilled mixing bowls before whipping cream, keeping it thick and perfect without melting. Tiny details, but they made all the difference. Even desserts had their icebox secrets. Icebox cake, layers of graham crackers and whipped cream, didn't need baking at all. It rested overnight until the crackers softened, blending into a silky, dreamy slice that every child waited for. Simple, smart, and made with nothing fancy, just patience and care. You could say the 1950s housewife wasn't just cooking, she was engineering comfort from what she had. No waste, no rush, just quiet confidence that tomorrow's meal was already waiting, half prepared, resting peacefully behind that little white door. And maybe that's what we've lost. Today, food comes fast, but back then, even leftovers had stories. Each dish had a second life, and each woman had the calm pride of knowing nothing she made ever went unloved. Because in those days, the icebox wasn't just cold storage. It was a diary of yesterday's effort and tomorrow's promise. Back then, cooking was not a rush. It was a rhythm, the kind where you waited for dough to rise instead of forcing it, where gravy thickened slowly on the stove while the radio hummed in the background. Every meal carried a little bit of time, a little bit of care, and a lot of heart. They knew that food meant more than just eating. It meant gathering, the sound of laughter over chipped plates, the smell of roasted chicken filling every corner of a small kitchen. Housewives didn't need perfection, they just needed warmth. And maybe that's why everything tasted better, because it was made with love, not hurry. Today, most of those quiet tricks are gone. But sometimes, when you take your time in the kitchen, you can still feel a whisper of that old rhythm, the calm, patient spirit that turned ordinary meals into lasting memories. If this glimpse into the forgotten kitchens of the 1950s stirred a little nostalgia in you, there's more waiting to be rediscovered. Subscribe for the next journey back in time, where every recipe had a secret and every housewife knew that love was the most powerful ingredient of all.